Hey GX World, my name is Sharpan and I am concluding the InstaCrypto release video series. Concluding because I just did the entire kind of sequence of all of the features, use cases, user types, support systems inside of what I think is going to be our flagship kind of retail application, because it's InstaCrypto. If you haven't watched the previous video, is essentially built to connect everybody to the most effective OTC solution, and InstaCrypto bridges that gap. Obviously, Global Exchange has some experience of being an OTC solution, but now we are building a coalition of OTC solutions that can be aggregated and curated through InstaCrypto through what we feel is a very, very simple consumer application. This video goes out to the brokers. I know that, well, first and foremost, I really hope you watched the InstaCrypto videos because that's the tactical, practical solution that's happening now, not sometime in the future, happening now, that will address your concerns. I also hope you watch the why InstaCrypto video, as well as the Global Exchange vision restated, which probably will come out after this. So maybe I implore you to watch that when it comes out, where I talk about what it is we're trying to do from the perspective of July 2020. I've heard so many kind of perspectives from brokers of all walks of life since we launched GXBroker as an idea to be a network of kind of onboarding and offboarding touch points. I think we initiated the idea in May of 2019, so about 1 year ago, or 1 year and 2 months. And, it's been so incredible for me to be able to work with the brokers, because I've essentially looked at the industry of crypto. I've looked at the industry of just financial brokers, like anything to do with the domain of institutional financial products and distributing them, which is kind of the quintessential way of using the word broker. And of course, I've looked at the affiliate marketing, internet influencer, multi-level marketing world, and tried to put them into one. With this idea of GXBroker. And I'm making this as the last video because there is an entire series, like I did for InstaCrypto, on Broker 2.0. What is Broker 2.0? It is a new broker-focused application. It's not a new program, it's the same program, a new broker-focused technology that allows the brokers to expand, the existing brokers and new ones to expand what they can do with their brokerage. I'm not going to go into all the features or anything like that. That's going to be saved for that series. This video is to talk about what InstaCrypto means for the brokers with the contextual information you already have about GXBroker. The majority of people that talk about GXBroker talk about one element of GXBroker, which is the OTC broker. OTC broker is something I created in the end of May of last year, which essentially allows someone to get a customer signed up for Global Exchange through their custom page, and then set their own fees for their brokerage. And when the customer goes and purchases crypto or sells crypto, the fees are implied, and the broker is able to monetize from that. He's able to monetize pretty heavily on his directs and still get profit sharing from unlimited amounts of customers that his directs spawned. That is 1/3 of what even the initial GXBroker was, because the initial GXBroker was a conglomeration of a token broker, a OTC broker, and the digital broker. Broker 2.0 blows this to smithereens. But what it doesn't do is change the fact that OTC broker is still going to be the easiest thing to do. The reason all of you guys are disappointed or obsessed with OTC broker is because it's the easiest thing to do. And that's not a knock on the brokers. That's simply the broker saying, well, I want to sell the product that the most people my customers have demand for. There's no question about that. But Broker 2.0 establishes I think it is the culmination of the vision of broker, and that essentially is going to be the self-perpetuating platform for the notion of broker as a protocol. But OTC broker, which is the one that you guys will always kind of hover around for the very reason that I think for the foreseeable future, it still will be the most lucrative thing. has had issues from the perspective of access, because you guys want to build your brokerages, of course, as fast and as global as possible. And for those of you that haven't watched the InstaCrypto videos, you might think that there is no limitation to that, and that we're just incapable of doing something that is super simple. I wish it was that easy. I would love to take more money from more customers. I don't think any business would limit that if they could. But definitely access has been a point of contention. Support has been a point of contention. And I think those two are practical concerns that InstaCrypto completely addresses. So if you still feel, by the time you watch this video, that either access or support are even anything but selling points at this point, like anything but extraordinarily positive selling points, that's because you haven't watched the InstaCrypto video. So I can understand that. So please go watch them, because there's nothing further that needs to be said from the perspective of access. Because now as a broker on the OTC side, you're now compensated not on global exchanges, only global exchanges kind of OTC business, but literally on potentially every OTC desk banker in the world, with very limited stringence, with very limited problems on onboarding new bankers. You are essentially able to expand and have much more control over how you want your customers to pay, as we have removed ourselves and given you a platform. Always, it's more lucrative to broker a platform where there's an open market transaction than it is to broker a particular company or solution. InstaCrypto would be something like brokering Google Maps and getting paid on every time someone eats something or something. I think it's a remarkable advantage for the brokers. As we all know, that getting crypto is always going to be a problem, but this is the closest thing to a holistic solution. On the support side, watch the support videos. It's not going to get technologically better than what I've presented. It's just not. You can't show me an app that's better than that from a technology perspective, from a support perspective. If there is, let me know. We'll definitely build it. But now it's still our responsibility to increase the bandwidth, to increase the quality of support. And we're going to do that for sure. But again, from a systems perspective, those two things have been handled. Again, watch the InstaCrypto video, test out the app for a week. Apart from some bugs that you might experience, I think you'll agree with me on this one. But what I really wanted to make this video about was not that. It was not the concerns I heard that were rational. It was more the concerns I didn't hear, or the concerns that weren't said, that were the inspirations for kind of expressing rational concerns. So that's kind of like a convoluted statement, so let me decode that. I think what the sentiment is amongst some people, and I'm not criticizing them for it, is that as a company or as a technology provider or as a token issuer, whatever you want to classify us as, that we have not given the attention that was promised or it deserves to the problem of making it easy for brokers to sell crypto. Again, if you haven't watched any of my InstaCrypto videos, you might actually believe that, as that's not the case. But let's just even say that that's the sentiment, so it doesn't have to actually be true, but that's the sentiment. I would like to even address that sentiment before I address the fact that we've dealt with it. And I think the fact that we dealt with it makes it kind of worse, because it would be something to the fact of to deal with all of the complaints, legitimate complaints that Uber drivers have about Uber, they release autonomous Ubers. And what does that mean? Apart from being a crude statement, it means that the perfect world for your customer is one where you're not required. There's no hand-holding. The support is ubiquitous, and they understand it without explanation. They don't understand everything, but they understand the support without explanation. And there's no knowledge that you need to impugn as to this is what you should do, this is what you should do, this is where you should go, this is where you should go, because the search engine does that. Well, that's what we've built. Again, that's built and Or does that mean that we service crypto instantly for every place on planet Earth? No. But we are working with everybody who does, or we will. And if it's not here, it might not be anywhere. And with that being said, now you have to consider it like, or I have to consider it, and I'm definitely postulating a lot about this as I release Broker 2.0, which is like just an insane update, is what can we, if InstaCrypto fulfills what it wishes to fulfill, now you're, from a technically speaking, like from a pure technology perspective, people will gravitate towards that app because it will become a direct-to-consumer popular platform, right? In the same way Coinbase and whatnot are. I've built it in a way that you still can't sign up for it without going through a link, but then the question has to be like, okay, where do we then really build value for as a broker and for the brokers? And this is where I want to hopefully drive this message home. Being a GX broker was never about being a glorified local Bitcoins salesperson. Like I know, maybe I'm guilty of pitching it as such. It's never about helping people get Bitcoin 1 degree simpler than they already did, and for that, you get to kind of keep the fees. We don't care about fees. We still don't care about fees. That doesn't matter to us at all. It was about getting compensated over time for introducing people to crypto. And for the majority of the world, introducing people to crypto is not getting them crypto. It's actually introducing them to the idea of crypto. Now, that has to be coupled with a solution that makes it easy for them to get it. And that is what InstaCrypto is. That's why I think that the relationship works well. And it's the actual solution to what you guys are looking for. But everybody who wants to get crypto will be able to go into crypto and do it. And we're going to put a lot of money for SEO and stuff like that behind it. So it's popular. It's a very good SEO word and all of that, obviously mobile first. Now you have to start wondering like, okay, this has become really simple, or at least espouses to be simpler. The support is more affluent. How can we build value? And this is where what we're going to touch on in Broker 2.0, what we're going to touch on in the GX token series, which is the third series I'm going to do, and just the evolution of global exchange is you have to now look at global exchange or the crypto world as creating the demand for crypto. So people will use your InstaCrypto link, which is the same as your broker link, by the way, if they believe in the vision of crypto that you've pitched them. Not if you're the most rational crypto liquidity provider in your city. It's going to now really look like global exchange or InstaCrypto provides a pretty self-explanatory solution, and the brokers need to explain in the grander customer scheme of things how they are upholding that value. Now, from a perspective of a company, you get paid so all the commissions are now like the incredible thing that I think we've still maintained is I never wanted to give up. I never want to give up the notion that the broker chain is still the ultimate profit sharing tool. It's never faltered once. That you get to set your own fees. Like these are the things that I think are so, the fact we take them for granted now, but it's just like still nobody does it. Forget about back then. So what I've done is that when, like, let's say I signed up 20 customers for global exchange, they're all the same login link, they're all the same sign up link too. What happens now is that when that person logs into InstaCrypto with global exchange, irrespective of the final quote he gets from whatever payment method, from whatever banker, your fees are baked into that. So the banker is actually getting the quote with yours included, which means that essentially there's no difference for someone buying crypto in any of the fashions on ICP or InstaCrypto as it is right now. So technologically speaking, it's the same, except it's just expanded to every banker, every payment method. And you yourselves could also be bankers as well. as well as tellers. We'll talk about that later. But again, I'm always more interested, and maybe that's just the folly of kind of, being the person that thought of all of it, but I'm always more interested in the brokers looking to empower new crypto citizens much more than being the 17th solution for an existing crypto. And I'm obviously not saying someone is that and someone is this, and a lot of you guys are that first person that I talked about, which I admire more than anything. And InstaCrypto for you is going to be a godsend. But let's put it like this. The OTC broker in and of itself as a license is going to be separated from the rest of the brokers who obviously are grandfathered into it. I'll talk about that in the second series. And it's going to be made available like approximately for about $500 like the token level. Like you're essentially, the new GX broker license structure is going to be per product. So you could be an OTC broker, that's its own staking requirement. What you guys paid, it's 1,000 coins. So whatever you guys paid in terms of being able to be a broker is going to be that's just going to be what it costs to be the OTC broker because of how simple it's now gotten. And even with the increased price of just a more limited product for new brokers, I'm very confident based on the conversations I've had and the people I've shown InstaCrypto to from the other institutions I've showed it to, that this is obviously a no-brainer because it's not really even that much being a broker anymore. It's kind of just like referring them to like being like a Google ad salesperson or something like that. I genuinely have the most deepest appreciation for anybody who's a broker until this point, because you guys are representing to me not just a part of an ecosystem for us, but also like people that believe in something. And I'm very excited to share Broker 2.0. I'm very excited to share GX Token. I'm extraordinarily excited to release InstaCrypto. But whether you believe it or not, we have accomplished what we set out to accomplish, which is to be a operating system in crypto that allows multiple apps, multiple users to engage over a unified platform. The next stage of our journey, which is inclusive of InstaCrypto, are other direct-to-consumer apps like Crypto Lottery and all of these things, as well as broker, as well as the token, is going to be about becoming the operating system. So you guys get paid on all the commissions, obviously. If you just actually thought about, if you cut out all the sentimental stuff and looked at what I just said, it essentially says that every single method in in InstaCrypto is an OTC transaction, let alone stuff that you're still doing in the vault, let alone stuff that when people are switching in between crypto lotteries. I mean, you guys haven't even came to realize how much OTC transactions there are in crypto lotteries. So we'll talk about that for sure. But I think there's a bigger point here, which is that, there's a reason insurance companies are not radically digitalizing. It's because the brokers that are employed by the insurance companies are doing something that the insurance companies are not really capable of digitalizing yet. But if they figure that out, then the real question bodes, which is that this really high-paying, lucrative profession of being an insurance broker, customers are happier, but that now you need to create different value proposition. So this is not a message for the couple thousand people who are brokers. This is a message for everybody in the future thinking about a broker as well. Like, we are right now infiltrated into a lot of different apps, and I can only see that growing. And with that scale comes a lot of leverage and different pockets of users that they don't even know they're GX users. There's registering for InstaCrypto, for Crypto Lottery, for this app, that app, enterprise applications. And so it's now becoming super dynamic. Everything that the brokers wanted to do is able to be done, but it's not going to be like, the brokers are the bridge to humanizing crypto. Technology can't do that. But if a broker insists that they're nothing but someone that just refers people to a technology platform that works perfectly, then they're not serving that role. And the really interesting part is, what if that technology platform arrives? So I'm so proud of everybody. I'm so proud of our team. I'm so proud of all the brokers. I'm proud of everybody that's put up with us. InstaCrypto has been a long time coming. The vision has been a long time coming. Thank you for watching this series.